આવી ગયું ટંટણે. Jai Baba Ram Nori.
Jai Meher Baba sir, how are you?
Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Jai Baba Ram.
These are all my faithful login fellows. Ay, ay, yeah. Okay, it's time. Jai Baba, everyone. Janice, could you please begin with the prayer? Thank you.
Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's Dham till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Jai Baba, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday evenings program of Avatar Meher Baba. Before we begin, I would like to invite the Lord himself to come and take the choicest seat that he wants and take over the conducting of this entire meeting. He must know that tomorrow is his birthday, and so all his lovers around the world will be celebrating it with a Hindi word called dhamal. I'm sorry. Dhamal means joy, masti, maja. And that's what, because it's the day to express our gratitude. It's the day to thank him for having come amongst us, like Erach used to say, man amongst men, and giving us all a hope of crossing the Naiya Paar Laga De kind of thing, crossing the ocean and merging into him. Before we start off, I have a few announcements to be made. Janice would like to brief about tomorrow's happenings. So Janice, could you please...
Anji. Jai Baba, everyone again. Am I audible?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yes. So tomorrow is Baba's birthday, and I'll just brief you about the Bombay Center's schedule. We have already sent out messages on WhatsApp, and I'll send it on the chat box again. So we start in the morning at 4:30 a.m. So morning program will be live on Zoom. So you have to join the Sunday meeting link like usually you do. So morning Zoom schedule will be 4:30. We start with devotional songs. Then we have 4:50 a.m. we'll play the dhun. 4:55 to 5 a.m. 5 minutes we'll maintain silence. And we start with repetition of Baba's God's names, and then so on, flag hoisting and entertainment program. So this will go on till around 8 o'clock more or less. And the evening program we are going live on YouTube this time. So the YouTube link is also shared in the message that we have sent out. So requesting all to join and have the Mal on Baba's birthday. If you have any queries or anything, you've not received the message, please feel free to contact Sam Uncle or me. Thank you. Jai Baba.
And for your information, the center will be open from 10 to 8 tomorrow. For those of you who would like to come and visit and take darshan. Okay, now to come to the not so very delightful announcements, but our dear Nan Umriga went to Baba. I think it was yesterday, was on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday, I'm not too sure. And I would just like to say a few words about Nan Umriga. She was a good soul to begin with. According to me, she's brought a lot, she's responsible for having brought a lot of people in Baba's fold. Of course, she did indulge in auto writing, through which a lot of people came. And that is one thing we do not subscribe to. I'm sorry. That is one thing we do not subscribe to. And but Meher Baba is God, and he has his own unique ways of getting people into Baba's fold. We all come to Baba with some kind of crutches, you know, in the sense, हमारे पे कई कष्ट होते हैं, कई दुख होते हैं, तभी ईश्वर याद आता है. सो हम उसी समय ईश्वर को याद करते हुए उनकी समाधि पे दर्शन देने जाते हैं, वगैरह वगैरह. But after having come to Baba, these crutches or these props have to drop off. We have to leave all this and follow whatever he has asked us to do. This is my own personal feeling. And I know of quite a few people who are regulars at our center, and they were introduced to Meher Baba and the center, etc., through Nan Umriga. So all I can say is, may Baba bless her soul. She's done a wonderful job all this time. And that's about it for Nan Umriga. Now, we've been talking about Hamirpur trips and trips to USA. Jimmy will be talking about it today. But before I hand over to Jimmy, I would like to narrate one of my personal experiences with on this Hamirpur trip. I don't remember the year very well. It was in the 70s, late 70s. And I'd gone along with a group led by Dr. Hoshang Bharucha. Hoshang Bharucha was a person whom I could sit down and talk about for hours on end. He was an exemplary Baba worker, if I may say so. तो जब हम लोग ये हमीरपुर ट्रिप पे गए थे, तो we were transported in a tractor cum trailer जो पीछे होता है ना, and it was open and it was almost like riding a bullock cart, but a bit better. And because it was very cold, we were all huddled together. और नेक्स्ट टू मी मेरे बाजू में एक जवान लड़का फ्रॉम हमीरपुर बैठे थे. तो आई आस्क्ड हिम कि आप कैसे बाबा के पास आए. तो he straight away started his narration about his father. He said, मेरे पिताजी was a simple farmer. और एक दिन हमारे गांव में there were handbills being distributed saying इस युग के अवतार हमें दर्शन देने आ रहे हैं. This thing did not go down his father's throat. और वो सोच रहे थे कि ऐसे कैसे होता है. He was a Ram Bhakt, a lover of Lord Ram. So the next day he stands before, during his prayers or whatever, he stands before Ram and he says, मुझे राह दिखाइए, show me the way if I should go for this darshan, and is it really you who has come back, all that. And then he went off doing his work. During the day, somewhere during midday, he was staring at the skies and the clouds and stuff like that. Achanak se he saw a picture of Ram appearing on the sky. And he bowed down and paid his respects and all that. As soon as he got up, the picture moved and Baba's picture came. He was quite impressed. And as he was about to bow down again, bit hesitantly, again the picture of Ram appeared and it went off and Baba's picture came. This was like a slideshow, as we call it. And this happened thrice. And then this man was convinced कि ये राम जी ने हमको रास्ता दिखाया है कि भाई यही अवतार वापस आए हैं. So in a very simple way, Baba pulled this man and his family towards him. And that is a story which is deeply registered in my mind. I'll never forget that. About the Myrtle Beach trip, I'd gone to Myrtle Beach with our ex-late president, Mr. Darav Shah Katra. We had planned this trip, just the two of us. And as usual, all the tayaris were being made. We got the visas, this, that, and the other. And in those days, I used to fly with Air India. So I happened to mention it to a friend of mine who worked as ground staff. And I told him, okay, I'm planning a trip to US and what are the requirements, trying to find out about the visa, all that. He said, Sam, I'll tell you all that later. But can you please do me a favor? I said, yes. He said, can you please carry a small parcel as a gift? Sorry, to a very dear friend of mine, Parsi gentleman in US. I didn't know where I was going to go, which all places we were going to visit. But I said, it doesn't matter. Even if I don't go to this place, I would mail it and send the parcel across. So I collected the parcel, kept it with me, and we started off on a pilgrimage, I would call it, to Myrtle Beach. And to my astonishment, the address on the cover, it said Mr. Tata. I remember the name very distinctly. And not the JRD and Naval and all. This was some other Tata. And the address was somewhere in Myrtle Beach itself. Can you imagine? Anyway, as soon as we arrived there and we were unpacking, I took out this parcel and set it aside. And I said, Darab Sahab, tomorrow or day after, I must make a call to this gentleman and have this parcel collected, whatever. Now, during this time of the year when we had visited Myrtle Beach, there was a great big typhoon that had occurred just recently. And the Myrtle Beach property was in shambles, in the sense there were a lot of trees fallen down, there was a lot of rubbish and the old leaves decaying and all that. And Myrtle Beach is a huge area, and the poor people who were the residents there were trying their best to clear it, but they needed more equipment to do so. So the next day when we went to visit Kitty Davis, we just mentioned that, so she, poor thing, she was quite this thing. She said what to do. We need a lot of help to clear this. And unless the local municipality or whatever they call it, council or whatever, they come in, we've written to them several times, but it's not happening, etc., etc. So that evening, we were invited to this Mr. Tata's residence for dinner, because we went along with that little parcel. And over the meal, it was a very nice house, and typical American family, wife, 2 children, and a dog. And we were enjoying our meal, etc. And then during the conversation, it just cropped up that this man, Mr. Tata, has been appointed as the mayor or something to that effect, as the head of the municipality of that area. So I piped in and I said, can you please do us a favor? There is this Myrtle Beach Center, and can you please help us send in the equipment and clear out all the rubbish? And he said, sure. Tomorrow I'll see to it that the equipment comes in and people start working. And that's how the whole thing was cleared off from that area. And I was really amazed as to how Baba conducts these affairs. He made me carry a simple little parcel which connected to this Mr. Tata, and then Mr. Tata was connected to this council or whatever, and his services were required. And Kitty Davis was ever so grateful. She said, y'all are God sent. Baba really sent y'all to help us out in this. And it wasn't a very big deal for me, because I'd only carried a little small parcel. But within myself, I was so happy that Baba made me or chose me an instrument to help out in his cause or whatever you call it. So this is how the Lord works. Tomorrow happens to be his birthday, and all that I have to say to him is, thank you, thank you, thank you 1,000 million times, and even that may not be enough. So these are my few thoughts on Hamirpur and Myrtle Beach. Of course, Jimmy Khan, in his own way, he will be talking about a lot of interesting things, including his visits to America and stuff like that. So without wasting any more time, I'd like to hand over to Mr. Jimmy Khan. Please take over. Thank you. Jai Baba. Mr. Jimmy Khan. Mr. Jimmy Khan.
Sam, give me a minute.
Aji.
Give me a minute.
Sure. Also, I would like to tell all these people, we've got about 20 participants today. I would like you all to pipe in also, whenever some incident is being narrated. If you have had any experiences of similar sort or anything in reference to the thing, kindly come out and share it. Because this program is all about sharing. Wow. Jamshedji with enlightened light at the back. Wow.
Sam, the English word is hello.
How do you spell it? H-E-L-L-O? Hello? Jai Baba.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Jai Baba to everyone. Sam started off mentioning about Nan Umrigar. So I have some indirect connection with Nan Umrigar. And so this is how it goes. I was seated at I was at the Pilgrim Center one afternoon after tea. I come out from the Pilgrim Center and two SUVs come, one Tata Sumo, one Qualis, and 7 to 8 people come out, including Nan Umrigar. And I'd heard about Nan Umrigar and knew that she was bringing people by the car loads. So I'm asking myself, when I see Nan and the others, I'm asking myself, what have I done for beloved Baba? How many people have brought to Baba? And when I used to sit in front of Meher Baba at Guru Prasad, Nan Umrigar was not even born. And not in real sense or not in physical sense, because I think Nan was roughly my age. What I meant as a matter of metaphor, that when I was with Baba, Nan was nowhere there. Nan was nowhere there. Nobody had heard of Nan Umrigar.
Jimmy, let me interject here for a minute. Nan is 90 years old.
Okay. I didn't know. Sorry, I didn't. I thought she was my age. Okay,
No,
okay.
she's 90.
Okay, thank you. So anyway, so this is what I thought, that what have I done for Baba? How many people I have brought to Baba? And this lady is bringing so many people. So that kind of was a germination. It was a seed that was sown in me, asking a question, how many I brought to Baba? So there were friends of mine, line members. They would say, Jimmy, you go to Meher Baba, you go to this place called Mehrabad. Where is this Mehrabad? And I would say, this is roughly very close to Ahmednagar city, Ahmednagar town. And they would say, will you take me? Will you take us? So in their cars or hired cars, I started bringing people to Mehrabad. And so this is how I started. 4, 3, 5, 7. This is how I started bringing. Now, not only did I bring them to Mehrabad, but I also became a self-appointed guide. a tourist guide, in the sense that at PC or MPR, I would talk to them about Meher Baba. I would explain to them about the murals and Baba's stories and Khan family stories with Baba. Then I would take them to Samadhi, talk to them about Upper Mehrabad, Lower Mehrabad, take them to Merazad, tell them about the history of Merazad. So this went on for quite some time. And, and, and not only the people that I took, I started telling them, but those who were at PC, those who were at MPR, I would tell them also about Baba's stories. I would take them also to Lower Mehrabad, Upper Mehrabad, Merazad, our stories. So I became a kind of a guide, a tourist guide, you can call it. And then one day I suddenly thought, yes, but before that, I would go to the Bombay Center on Thursdays, Sundays, sometimes odd days, and the newcomers would come there and they would ask us, how do you go to Mehrabad? Where is Mehrabad? Is it in Gujarat? We would say, no, it's very much in Maharashtra. It is outside of Ahmednagar, which is in Maharashtra. So how do you go there? And we would say, go to the Bombay Central ST terminus, and there are buses at 10 and 11 at night, and they will drop you at 5 in the morning, and tell a rickshawala to take you to the Samadhi, they'll take you. Or you go to VT station, catch 10:55 train, night train, and in the morning you are at Ahmednagar station, call for a rickshaw, and you'll be at Ahmednagar, you'll be at Mehrabad. But having said so, the way we were saying this was hurting me. They were hurting me in the sense, if someone were to tell me this, would I go to Mehrabad, catch 9 o'clock train, catch 10 o'clock bus? I mean, we were not going out. We were not going out. We were not trying to help people as to how to go to Mehrabad. So this was hurting me, that we are not good Babalas, we are not helping people. So how does one help people? So one day I thought that at my house, I'll give a talk on Meher Baba and Mehrabad and Merazad. So I give an ad in one of our Parsi newspapers, and it said that, who is Meher Baba? What is Mehrabad? What is Merazad? Jimmy Khan will give a talk on Sunday so-and-so. From 10:30 to 11 will be tea, coffee, snacks. And from 11 to 1, we'll give a talk. So that was one ad. And parallel to that, next to that was another ad which said pilgrimage to Mehrabad. All those who are interested in coming to Mehrabad, contact Jimmy Khan, so-and-so, etc., etc. So these ads appear in either Jame or Parsi Times, I don't remember, but this ad appears. And I see that ad, and I'm happy that it happened. One day goes, second day, third day, not one phone call, not a call. I'm telling Baba, what's wrong? Baba, what's wrong? What's happening? I see nobody's interested. And I'm telling myself, Baba, nobody's interested to come to Mehrabad. I'm willing to take them, but nobody seems to be interested. I'm quite despondent. I'm quite disappointed. But that's it. Then the Sunday came for talk at my house. Roughly 40 people turned up, and I gave a talk. Sam Patel was also there. In between, he talked for a while to relieve me. So I gave a talk for maybe more than a couple of hours with question answers followed. And the people who came, I told them that next Sunday we are going to Mehrabad. Those who are interested, you are welcome. So some showed interest, some warmed up. They gave their name, etc. And then I started getting phone calls and whatever. And finally, this was 15th August 2009. roughly 13 years earlier. And we are in the bus going to Mehrabad. And trust me, we were more than 50. Yes, I'm happy to say we were more than 50 of us. We went by two buses, but not AC buses, not the big buses, maybe 29 passengers each. So roughly more than 50 of us are on our way to Mehrabad. And I was pleasantly surprised. I was happy that so many people finally turned up. And there were two ladies in front of me, Dungajis. They were principals of new activity where our children also studied there. So one of the principals tell me, Mr. Khan, we have worked hard all our lives. We should go by air-conditioned buses. You should hire air-conditioned buses. So I said, I don't know any. Do you have some names? So they said Destiny. They take our children to picnics, etc., school children. So she gave me the number of Destiny, and I got in touch with Destiny. And for a while, I had Destiny buses, air-conditioned buses. And then we moved to Zubin. So that is how the trips started. That is how the trips started by bus. Now, I would like to go back once again. I would like to go to the 70s and the 80s as to how we went to Mehrabad. In 69, Baba dropped his Bobby. We couldn't go to Pune anymore. We couldn't go to Gurprasad anymore. So the next place to go was Mehrabad in those days. So under the leadership of Jal and Dolly Dastu, we would go to Mehrabad maybe three times a month, 3 times a year, 4 times a year, including Amar Tithi also. So Jal and Dolly would gather the like-minded Baba lovers from Bombay Center and otherwise. They would buy tickets for us. So by night train, we would go to Ahmednagar, and from there, from Ahmednagar, we would take the not rickshaws, the horse carriages, tongas. We would take tongas and go to Mehrabad. And the moment we landed at Mehrabad, Padri Kaka will say, Parsi, Bombay na Kagrao aaya. Bombay na Kagrao aaya. So that's how it was. And we stayed in small rooms at Lower Mehrabad. I repeat, we stayed in small rooms at Mehrabad. And otherwise, in those days, young Westerners had come to Mehrabad, and they would stay in these small cottages. So when the groups came, Padri Kaka would tell these Westerners to go and stay somewhere in Ahmednagar and make room for us. So we stayed in these small rooms. There was one small room at the back, which was our dining room. And there was one Sakubai, and she cooked meals for us. And the best part was morning breakfast because we got eggs. Otherwise, the food was okay, but we didn't go for the food. We went for Baba, we went for Samadhi. So that was in our stride. The food was in our stride. So in the morning, we would go to Samadhi. In the evening, we would go to Samadhi. We would also go and sit in Mansari's room. You all have been to Mansari's room. That small room opposite Gadi in the tin shade. So that was Mansari's room. And Mansari would regale us with all the stories of her time with Baba and the monthly, etc., etc. And she would tell about the snake that went and sat on her chest, etc., etc. And she would tell us to sit on that green chair, which is still in Mansari's room. And she would tell us to sit on the green chair because she said that whenever Baba came to visit her in this room, Baba would come and sit on that chair. Now, I've been to many places around, and I know of only one chair on which Baba has sat and we are allowed to sit, and that is this green chair. Nowhere on earth, nowhere, US, UK, Australia, nowhere there is a chair where people will allow you to sit on which Baba is sat. So, do I say fortunately for us, that green chair is where Baba had sat and we are allowed to sit. Even today we can go and sit there. And Mansari living alone on Upper Merabar, she had doggies, 2 or 3 pups and dogs. And she was very fond of dogs. And one day my son Firoz was harassing these dogs. So Mansari said, Firoz, don't harass my dogs. Come in the room, sit on this chair and pray to Baba that I'll be a good boy. So Firoz sits on this chair and must have prayed, and then he turned out to be a good boy. So that's about Mansari's room. We heard some lovely stories about the old times from Ansari. And then these were the days when there was no electricity at Mehrabad or Merazad. So in the evening, when we went up the hill, we would carry Petromax. We would carry Petromax with us and lantern. And in the Samadhi itself, one lantern would be kept. Nilam Goyal, will you please? Thank you. Please, thank you. In the Samadhi also, one lantern would be kept or one Petromax would be kept. So that's how it was. Those were the days. And then at night, we would come down with the Petromax or Hurricane, have our dinner also with Petromax. So that's how it was. But twice or thrice a day, I beg your pardon, a week, we would also go to Merazad. And now let's come to PC. When we stayed in these cottages, from time to time we would go to PC where it was being built, and we would see PC being built. And we wondered when it will be built, it took 4 years. It's recorded that it took 4 years for the Pilgrim Center to be built. So finally we stayed at Pilgrim Center. On the right, there were 26 beds. On the left, there were 26 beds, men wing and the women wing. And when there was busy time, the Westerners or those who stayed for long in PC, they were told to go and stay in Nagar to make room for us. And during busy time, some were told that, sorry, PC is full, you'll have to stay in Dharamsala. So then they had to stay in Dharamsala. So that's how it went. And every Saturday night, there would be a film show in PC, and sometimes there would be talks around. So this is how it went. And we went to Merazad by a small minibus called Swanee. It carried something like 16 to 20 people. And we carried our dry lunch to Merazad in tokaris. 2 tokaris full, and these tokaris were kept behind the driver's seat. And we went to Merazad, and we would be there at 11 because that was the time. From 11 to 1, we are in the Mandli Hall. The Mandli Hall would be closed, and either Mani or Eraj would talk to us about their glorious days with Baba. At once, there would be lunch time. So we would come out, we would have our lunch, that dry lunch. And at 3 o'clock, there would be tea time. So after tea time, after 3, we would go once again in the Mandi Hall. And from 3 to 5, we are once again with Eraj and Mani, and they would once again continue their stories about the blue bus tours and the new life and everything. So we heard a lot, we learned a lot from them. So this is how it went till 5. And at 5, they would be gone, they would be bell saying that board the bus, time to go, time to depart. So at 5, we would say goodbye to the mandli. All of them would come out and wave us off, and we would leave Mirazar, come to Mehrabad. But before coming to Mehrabad, to and fro, we will stop at trust office. We stopped at trust office, and in the evening, we stopped at trust office. We would go to Saros canteen. Outside of trust office, there was Saros theater, and outside the Saros theater, there was a canteen, Saros canteen, and there would be cutlets and patties and non-veg, what have you. So we all Parsis who are famished of non-veg things, we would go there and have non-veg snacks and tea and coffee and whatever. And when we landed at Mehrabad, it was 6 in the evening. So we would get down on the main road and walk up the hill, and it's almost 6:15, 6:30, and RT time. Then we would spend time out there with RT and sing song and prayers, etc. And at night, come down with a lantern, hurricanes, and our meals. So this is how the time went at the Pilgrim Center. Talking about our baths, hot water was not on tap, unlike MPR. So there were these local boys, hired boys. There was a bull outside in the compound. They would hit the water, and these guys would bring hot water bucket for us. And so that's how we got our hot water. And in those days, if it was busy time, you can stay in PC only for 4 days. After 4 days, you have to vacate PC because the others would come. So the max we could enjoy PC, I mean Pilgrim Center, was roughly 4 days. But we had good time. We had glorious time there. So a few of them stayed at Dharmshala, the overflow, but they can come and have their tea, breakfast, lunch, dinner at the PC dining hall. But for stay, they have to stay at Dharamshala. So this in substance is the early days. I want to stop here, and if there are any questions about the early days, please, you are welcome to ask me. Yeah, talking about these trips. When I started these trips, we had to send emails, and sometimes I would carry 70 people, sometimes carry 80 people. And I started off sending everybody's emails to MPR. Sometimes I would miss out, and sometimes there would be a mishap, and there were problems, but I kept doing it. And I'll give an example as to how it was. I would book the buses, I would send emails, etc. I would make the list for those who are traveling by bus, etc., etc. Now, there were problems also. To give an example, suppose we are traveling tomorrow morning, tonight at 11 p.m. I repeat, tonight at 11 p.m. One lady rings me up at 11 at night and says, Jimmy, I'm sorry, I cannot come, I'm not well. I said, it's okay, fine. Take care, please look after yourself, and etc. It's okay, you can come next time. And then she says, but Jimmy, there were 4 others who were also coming with me, and they are first timers, so because I'm not coming, they are also not coming. I said, it's okay, fine. You can always come next time. So 5 of them just sat down. Another thing, we are at the bus at Bhatia or Dada, wherever we are, and people would not show up. People just would not show up. The bus is booked, the bus is there. They will just not show up. That's it, because they haven't paid. They haven't paid, so what? Yeah, they are not going to lose. They just didn't come. That's it. So one has to take, one had to take, even today. At Bhatia, sometimes people don't show up. At Lalbagh, Parel, Dadar, people just don't turn up. They don't show up. That's it. So this happened, and it still happens. It still happens. So this is how it is. So if you are in charge, you have to have a very cool head. I mean, you have to have a very cool head. You can't blow up at people. It's been 14 years since this trip started in 1999. To date, I'm happy to say I haven't lost my cool. And there has not been a single complaint about this trip, not one. It's been a long journey, but not a single complaint. Everybody is happy to come. And if you ask me, why do so many people come? And there are many reasons why so many people turn up for these trips, which we also taking this 4th, 5th, 6th. One is, relatively speaking, it is very cheap. If you hire a car and if you go, and if you're taking a 5-day trip, it will blow a hole in your wallet. So it's a relatively very cheap trip. Secondly, if young girls come, if ladies come, the men are not comfortable. Who are you going with? You know, they feel that I'm sending my daughter with people I don't know. So these ladies and the girls say that, Dad, don't worry, there are so many people. So they come to Bhatia, they come to Lalbagh, they come to Parel, they come to Dadar, and they see for themselves that there are nice people going, there are respectable people going. So they don't mind sending their young daughters and their wives. So that's an advantage in itself. And thirdly and lastly, it's not just that I just dropped them at Mehrabad and I said, see you on Sunday morning. I don't just leave them alone. It's called hand-holding. I give talks, I explain about the murals, take them to Lower Mehrabad, Upper Mehrabad, Merazar. I explain them everything about. Then on after dinner talks, where Sam joins me, Cyrus, Mehnoz, Parvez Walodwala, we become a kind of a panel and we talk after dinner. And we end up giving a lot of new information to those who come for the first time. So it's a happy trip. But in between, what happened was that my wife Firuza saw me working, and she got upset with me that, are you the only Gadera who's working? Is there no one to help you? There's no one to help you. You are the only one working. There's no one in Bombay to help you. So I played a trick with her. I told the Bombay Center trustees, I'm one of the trustees. So at one of the trustees meeting Sam was also present. I told the trustees that I want to hand over this business of trips to Mehrabad to the trust, and it can go under the Bombay Center's banner. So they were all very happy. Of course, why not? They were all very happy. And they all said yes in unison, that yes. And I said that I will do all the working. I need a couple of volunteers. I'll do all the working, but I don't want to take it under my name. I want to have it under the center's name. So since that day, the trips are under the center's name. And I would like to name the volunteers who regularly help me. The very first volunteer to help me was Percy Siganporia. He took care of collecting the cash. He took care of paying the cash at the pilgrim, at the MPR, etc. So Percy Siganpuria was the first volunteer. Then Sam joined. Then Godrej joined. Godrej Mehta. Then Bobby Babanji, I will never forget Bobby Babanji. He does all the cash collection. He goes and pays at MPR, Cassie, Mystery. So these are the 5 volunteers who always are there on hand. And they are there in the bus also to look. If there are 3 buses, then I tell some other volunteers to look after one bus, the other bus. So today it is a team effort. Today I can't say I'm taking the trip. Today it's an effort. It's a joint effort. Everybody joins. So this is how it goes. Now I'll come to my trips to the West. It so happened. Yes, Sam, go ahead.
Jimmy, before you go on to the other trips and etc., I would like to share some of my observations during this Mehrabad trip.
Please.
Especially, I'll never forget the times when we would come back and everybody would be getting off at Bhatia Hospital or whatever. And some of these old ladies, they would go up to Jimmy and tell him, okay, thank you very much, Jimmy, because I don't know when my time will be up, but today you made it possible for us to meet God. And I think that was the most gratifying thing for all the efforts that all of us had put in. That's number 1. And number 2, I remember seeing Jimmy Khan walk away after everybody had departed from the bus and gone to their respective homes. He would not leave before everybody was settled in a taxi, this, that, other. He had one small bag, he hung it across his shoulder. And the way he marched across the road reminded me of a soldier or a mercenary who's come back from a battle victoriously. So these are the few strange and kind of observations that I had during this trips. Thank you.
Where
Yes, Jai Baba. The first time I had gone to Mehrabad and I had come in Jimmy Khan's bus, and I said to Kurush, I remember, whose bus are we going? I don't know Jimmy Khan. And Kurush said, oh, he's a very good friend of mine from YCZA. So I said, I don't know Jimmy Khan. I've never met him. Come on, you come, you see. And I was so happy with you, Jimmy, uncle. You really took us so well. I'm so pleased for everything you do. Jai Baba.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Mayor. Yes, but we also talk about Mayor Baba and the Baba stories in the bus as well. I forgot to tell you that. And people enjoy those stories in the bus. Suppose we are going from Mehrabad to Merazad, I tell them about not only the history of Merazad, but what prompted Baba to go from Mehrabad, leave Mehrabad, and go and settle at Merazad. So I talk about that as well. And on return from Mehrabad to Bombay, we talk about Baba and we talk about Baba's stories. And I welcome others to come, like for example, Menus Mehta will come and sit next to me, and Menus will narrate his stories, or Sam will come forward and Sam will narrate his stories. or Parvez Walodwala will come, and Parvez Walodwala will narrate his stories. So, and then I would, if there are no stories coming up, I would invite singers, those who can sing, those who would like to come forward and sing, they can come and sing. But there's a rider, there's a proviso that I don't want Bollywood songs. Please, this trip is still on. This pilgrimage is still on. So please excuse me, no Bollywood songs, only kind of devotional songs. So they would come forward and they would sing. I remember once more than 10 singers came forward. And I mean it, I'm very honest. More than 10 singers came forward and sang. And I think till Chembur or something, there were singers one after the others. Without prompting, they would come forward. I would just give them the mic in their hand and they would start singing. What lovely trips we had. Now, Sam is talking about accolades. Sam is talking about accolades that Baba Lawas gave me. I'm going to tell you some 2 or 3. One of them is Godrej Mehta. Godrej knew of Meher Baba because of his sister, and Godrej would come with his sister because she said, "Chalne Godrej, avni apne chahiye." So he come as a picnic. So Godrej would come as a picnic to Mehrabad. So he had come to Mehrabad a few times. But after this trip started, Godrej coming in. And Godrej tells me, he tells me that you have shown Baba to me. You have brought Baba to me. And he is never grateful to me. He is never grateful to me. He tells everyone in the bus, he tells everyone in FPR that if I have come to Baba, it is thanks to Jimmy that I've come to Baba, and not my sister. And one day I was sitting in MPR, and the whole of dining room was full. And Iraj Karadia tells me, with parses, whole of dining room was full with parses. And Iraj Karadia tells me that Jimmy, today Srinmay must be so happy. I repeat, he said, Jimmy, today Srinmay must be so happy. And what he meant was that it was not Meher Baba, it was not Meherwan Shriyar Irani, but it was Srinmay who took the brunt of the Parsis and Iranis at Pune. In our Parsi Gujarati, we said Tupi Khai. And these Parsis, Iranis would prick at her. You see your son, this Meherwan, he is enjoying women at Mehrabad, he's enjoying women, and he is a swindler, he's a hoax, and he takes everybody's money. And Srinmay would come to Mehrabad and tell Baba that you are fine, you are okay over here, but it is I who is getting this brunt of this Parsis and Iranis torture. So when Iraj Karadia said this, that today Srinmay must be very happy, what he meant was that it is the same Parsis and the Iranis. By same, I don't mean the same people, but the next of kin, their children or their grandchildren. Because people have said that my grandmother, or grandfather, or my uncle, used to know Srinma, etc. So, so that is why he said that today they are so happy. Srinma is so happy that the same clan is coming now to Meher Baba. On another thing, Erach's brother once told me that Jimmy, આજે તારા મમ્મા કેટલા ખુશ હશે. What he meant was, your mother must be blessing you that you as Baba's instrument to bring so many people to Baba. So in a sense, my mother must be blessing it from heavens. So this is about the pilgrimage to Mehrabad and Mirazat. Some take over for a minute, please. Some
Sure,
please.
Jimmy, sure. Folks, I would like to introduce a gentleman called Mr. Murthy, Veldandi Murthy. He is an Andhraite of our Bombay center. जरा इधर आओ, मैदान में आओ, सबको दिखना मांगता है. He is, कैसे बताऊं, one of our very active workers at the Bombay center. मूर्ति, आप जरा जय बाबा बोलो सबको.
जय बाबा.
कुछ बोलना है आपको?
एक चीज हो गया, मैं आपको शेयर करता हूँ. अभी जस्ट कल का दिन ही, कल मुझे बोला था सेंटर पे अपने को डेकोरेशन करने का है. तो एक्चुअली क्या हो गया, 2 दिन पहले मम्मी को पैरलाइज जैसा हो गया, तो कैब में डाला था, तो 2 दिन ही हो गया था सिर्फ. तो मैं बाबा से प्रार्थना किया 7 बजे, बाबा आरती किया 7 बजे, उसके बाद बाबा को हाथ जोड़ा. फिर बाद में मेरे को वहां से कॉल आ रहा है कि मम्मी को डिस्चार्ज करते घर पे लेके जाओ. इतना बाबा से मैं किया, बाबा उसको जल्दी से ये कर देना, क्योंकि उसको घर पे भेज दो, क्योंकि उधर मुझे नहीं रखना है. तो बाबा ने, पता नहीं बाबा कैसे करते हैं, लेकिन अपन नहीं समझते आदमी, लेकिन जो करना है उस बराबर करते हैं लेवल पे. लेकिन अपन सोच कभी कभी होता है आगे पीछे. बस उतना ही कहना है. जय बाबा.
This young man is a very sincere and a hard-working person. उसको कोई भी काम छोटा या बड़ा नहीं होता है उसके लिए.
सब बाबा का काम.
By profession he is a tailor. आप लोग में से कोई लेडीज लोग को कुछ भी कपड़ा सिलाने का है तो इसके पास जाइए. बट नहीं, आज आई एम वेरी हैप्पी. ये देखिए, ये हम लोग बोलते हैं कोइंसिडेंस, लेकिन इट इज नॉट अ कोइंसिडेंस. बाबा वांटेड हिम टू बी प्रेजेंट ड्यूरिंग दिस, क्योंकि ये हमेशा बैकग्राउंड में ही रहता है, हर एक चीज में बैकग्राउंड में रहता है. सो टुडे, आज उनको ये लाइमलाइट में आने का अवसर मिला, एंड फॉर विच आई थैंक मेहर बाबा. उन्होंने देखो कैसे टू द माइन्यूटेस्ट पॉइंट, मैं कभी से इसको बाजू में बिठा के रखा था. आई वॉज होपिंग कि जिमी को बीच में कुछ इंटरप्ट करूं. आखिर में ऐसा ही हुआ कि जिमी ने बोला कि मैं जरा जाता हूं, टेक ओवर, एंड दिस इज हाउ इट हैपेंड. So Baba works to the minutest details. He looks after us. Thank you, everybody. Jai Baba.
जय बाबा.
Okay.
मूर्ति, आपको मिलकर अच्छा लगा?
हाँ जी.
मूर्ति, आपको मिलकर अच्छा लगा?
जय बाबा.
जय बाबा.
मुझे भी अच्छा लगा.
2 साल के बाद मिले हम लोग. Okay.
Yeah. Now I'll talk about my trips to the West. It was in 2006, and I was at MPR, MPR opened in 2006, by the way. MPR opened in 2006. But before that, let me tell you, when PC opened, the Mandli came to inaugurate it. And the Khan family was there. When PC closed in 2006, March is when we closed for summer. When PC closed in March, Mehru and Merwan came for the closing ceremony. There was a small PC closing ceremony also. And fortunately, I was present then also for the closing ceremony. Then in June of 2006, same year, the MPR was inaugurated. And fortunately, I was there at the inauguration of MPR as well. So, been there, done that, seen that. I've done everything. Okay, coming to my trips to the West. I've been to the US on talk tours, maybe 5 times, maybe 4 times. Canada once, Australia once, UK, maybe UK twice. So let's go back how it all started. Yeah, Dilshad says 15 June 2006. Bang on, Dilshad. Dinesh. Bang on, Dinesh. Okay, so in the very first year, I was at MPR, and there were a few Westerners also at that time, and I would tell the Khan family stories to these Westerners, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There were families, and I was telling them stories. So for 3 days, I told them stories about my family. And Philip Luttendorf and his daughter Mira were also there. So on the last day, Philip says that, Jimmy, you have some fabulous Baba stories to tell. We should invite you to the US and you can give Baba talks. So very casually, I said, fine with me. But before that, to begin with, in the early days, the Mandli went to the West. Then the old timers who had seen Baba, who had met Baba, like the Dada Chanjis and Jal Dolly and the others, Kirawalas, they went. And a lot of Baba lovers who had seen Baba, who had met Baba, who had spent time with Baba, they went, and it was fine. It was all right. My time came. So this Philip tells me that, Jimmy, we should invite you to the West. And I said, fine. I never took it very seriously. And I come home, they go back to the West. And what happened was that Mira, Philip's daughter, she rings up sorry, give me a minute. She rings up a guy who has spent time with the Mandli, who has spent time with as an editor, etc., who stayed in Mehrabad for a couple of years or maybe more, Steve Klein. So she told Steve Klein that we met at Mehrabad a guy called Jimmy Khan, and he has some fabulous Baba stories to tell, and you should invite him. So Steve was not very convinced. So he rang up the father, namely Philip. And he tells Philip that your daughter has rung me up and she's telling me about this guy called Jimmy Khan. And she says that you were also present at Mehrabad. So Philip says that it was I who told Jimmy that we would like to bring you to US, and my daughter beat me to that. So he says, yes, of course, we have heard all his stories and you should invite him. So he was not convinced. Steve was not convinced. So he sends emails to Heather and Watt Parks saying that you are regular at Mehrabad, you live at Mehrabad. Do you know this Khan people, this Jimmy Khan? So what Park said, who the hell is Jimmy Khan? I don't know him. He was honest. Let's say he was honest. He didn't know me. He said, I'm sorry, I don't know any Jimmy Khan. I don't know the Khan family. But Heather, who was staying there for years, Heather said, of course, I met the whole Khan family. I met Khurshid Khan. I met Jimmy. I met his sisters. And of course, they've got some real good stories to tell. So Steve was convinced that, yes, there is this guy called Khan and the Khan family. So he wrote to me saying that, would you come this next summer and give us a talk? So I had been to the US once, but that was way back in 1980. And I was always wanting and longing to go back to the US. So I said, of course I will come. Of course I will come. And so he said, shall I go ahead and arrange your trip next summer? I said, yes, you can go ahead, I'll come. And I said, my wife Firuza will also come, but you will not have to pay a penny for her. She will look after all her expenses, international travel, visa, medical, local travel in the US. She will pay every penny. She will not be a financial burden to the American Baba lovers, but you'll have to sponsor me. And that was fine with them. So Steve started writing to all the groups in the US, and he must have said that if you want Jimmy to come over to your town or city, you'll have to pay X many dollars. And they agreed, and gradually Steve started writing to me that this many cities have come on board, this many towns have come on board. And the number kept increasing. My visa had expired, so I applied for my visa. And this went on. And a time came when he warned me, Steve warned me that, Jimmy, do not extend your trip beyond 30 days. People get excited and people say, yes, yes. So I said, more the merrier. I was so excited, I said, more the merrier. It finally so happened that 30-day trip ballooned to 70 days. I repeat, the trip ballooned to 70 days. One stretch, 70 days trip. Firuza was excited, I was excited. This was her first trip to the US, so she was also excited. So we land in the US. And now you've got to imagine that we had to travel pan-US across the length and breadth and the north and south of the US. With the result, every second day or the third day, we had to pack our bag and travel. We traveled by the bus. We traveled by the cars. We traveled by trains. We traveled by air. So we traveled by all these modes. And everywhere we had to lug our bags. 70 days, we have to carry things. We carried so many gifts to give to our host. So the bags got bigger and bigger. We had two big bags and two smaller bags, but nevertheless, though the host carried our bags, the big bags, at least the small bags, by small bags, I mean suitcases. We had to lug the small suitcases, and everywhere the bedroom is on the first floor. So the weaver house always on the first floor. So we had to carry lug these suitcases on the first floor. It broke our back. Kamar tuti gayi, literally kamar tuti gayi. And non-stop travel every third day, every second day, every fourth day travel. So on the 15th day, Firuza started crying. Trust me, on 15th day, Firuza started crying. She said, I can't take it anymore. I want to go home. I don't want to continue. Now this became very awkward for me because I can't send her back. I couldn't have sent her back. All the tickets were bought, everything were bought. So I had to pacify her, take it easy, take one day at a time, take one day at a time. You know, it's to someone who is not invited, someone who has not gone, for them it's all tickles, it's all very tickling. But for those who have done that and been there, they know how it is. The other point is laundry. Laundry was a major problem, major problem. The other problem was food. The food was, I'm sorry, but less said the better. And I craved for rice. I like rice, I like gravy. And sometimes we went to an Indian restaurant, which was very few and far between. So food-wise also, it was very, very tormenting. They don't have breakfast. They don't have breakfast. They just live on fruits, and it was very uncomfortable to live without a breakfast and eating fruits on breakfast. So from all angles, it was a tough going. Then comes 35th day, halfway mark. 35th day, it was up to year. Not year, it was year. And I'm telling myself, Jimmy, take one day at a time. Jimmy, take one day at a time. I know it is tough, but take one day at a time. So it was one day at a time affair. Firuza and I went to 26 geographical places. I repeat, in one trip, 26 geographical places. That doesn't mean we doesn't mean we carried our bags to 26 places. If we are in one city, then we would be taken by car or by whatever to another city, another town. Maybe we stay one night there and come back. So in that sense, we went to 26 places. I gave 30 talks. And so that is how it went. That is how it went. It was exciting because we saw places like nobody has seen US. I don't think anyone has seen US. The Westerners would ask us, where did you come from? Where have you been? Now where will you go? So my wife is like a parrot. She has tremendous memory. And she would start from Mumbai, and she would end up at Mumbai. She would tell all these 26 places like this. And these Westerners would say that we are Americans, we are born Americans, we haven't seen so many places in our entire life. And you are Indians, and you're seeing all these places in one go. So yes, and the other grounding was that whichever town we went, whichever city we went, these groups have already had meetings interstate among themselves. And they would decide the Khans are coming on Friday morning, and his first talk will be in the evening. Tomorrow on Saturday, who will take them? Where will you take them? So someone will volunteer that we will take the Khans, we will take them here, there, everywhere. So this is how we didn't just give talk and went to the other town. We traveled a lot in that particular city or outside the city, and we saw a lot of interesting places. So in that sense, I'm grateful to them that they showed the hospitality, and they took us around wherever they could. They would drive one way, they would drive 2 hours. Trust me, one way they would drive 2 hours and take us to places and show us places of interest and bring us back. And they entertained us, etc., etc. So all in all, it was a very lovely trip. We had a great time. And trust me, these Baba lovers were not novices when it came to spirituality, when it came to Meher Baba. So Firuza would remind me, Jimmy, be careful with your words. I repeat, not exactly, but she would say, Jimmy, be careful with your words. These guys, they know their books. They know Baba's gnosis. So be careful what you say. Because I'll be honest with you, I'll be honest. There have been times when they have corrected me. They said, no, Jimmy, it's not like this, it's like this. It is in Lord Mayor, it is in this book, that book, it is in God Speaks, it is in Discourses. So my wife warned me that, Jimmy, be careful with what you say. These guys are not novices. And I said, yes, I've observed that. They know quite a bit. So what I'm trying to say is that they knew, they have read Baba books, they're interested in Baba, they know their stuff, they know their stuff well. So so this is how it works. And give me a minute. Yeah, once there was a little argument about what Baba felt about vegetarian and non-vegetarian food. So matter went to a head, and our host, Bruce, he interjected and he said, enough, now stop it. We are not here for a debate. We are not here for debate. We have invited Jimmy for a talk. So let's limit ourselves only to talk and basic questions. Let's get involved in arguments. So that's how it was. So there would be a lot of question answers. The best part was my trip to Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach was an experience in itself. It was a lovely being there. Sam has been there. He talked to you about Myrtle Beach. And we were at Myrtle Beach, we were given a cottage called Log Cabin. I repeat, L-O-G, Log Cabin. Now, this log cabin is beyond the bridge that we see Baba walking on. In n number of films, we have seen Baba walking on bridge on the lake. So our cottage was, we every time had to cross this bridge. N number of times we crossed this bridge. And then there are steps going up. And then there is this log cabin. And behind log cabin are a couple of cabins. This is where the women monthly, when they went to the west, when they went to Myrtle Beach, the women monthly stayed there in those cabins. And men visitors are not allowed to stay there. I mean, not allowed to visit that place. So I was not allowed to go and see that place, but the volunteers took Firuza and they showed this cabin to Firuza. Some tell me when to stop, please. So Firuza went and saw that place. Now, what is the importance of this log cabin is that there's a window, and from that window, you can see the bridge. It's on a height, it's on a height because you have to climb the steps and go there. So from the window, there's a bed there. So I used to sleep on that bed, and from that bed, you can see the bridge. And Elizabeth, and when Baba was there, and when the women were there, Elizabeth and Norina, they had occupied this log cabin. And alternately, they would sit on the window, at the window. They would sit at the window, and if they saw Baba coming, they would run and they would shout at that cabin, Baba's coming, Baba's coming. So all the women monthly, all the women would drop whatever they were doing, and they would be ready to receive Baba. Now, Baba was staying on the other side, but once a day in the morning, Baba came and spent some time with the women because they were cloistered in that cabins. So once a time, Baba came and spent some time with them. So Elizabeth or Norina would run over, tell the women that Baba's coming, ready, Baba's coming. So that was a small log cabin that we stayed. And then we also stayed in one of the cabins. Last 1 or 2 days, we stayed in one of the cabins. Now, let me explain to you, those who have not been to Myrtle Beach, the setup is very different from MPR. MPR is one structure with men and women's wing. There's a common dining hall where we meet and we dine, etc. But at Myrtle Beach, it's a vast, huge property, and there are cottages. There are cottages well spread out. Means if you're in one cottage, you can't see the other cottage. You have to walk a little distance to go to the other cottage. Then there is a library called Dilruba, and there's a structure, Baba's room, where Baba had stayed. And then there is a big hall where Baba gave, where it is called the barn, B-A-R and barn, where people sat. Then there is a room where Baba gave interviews. I forget that name. So these are all widespread place. Lagoon. Thank you. So it's a very widespread place. And talking about the food, you have to manage your own food. There are some modern cabins or new cabins, which are big cabins. And these cabins are joint cabins for 2 families. And in between, on the porch, there is a small kitchenette. Everything is there. You have to just bring your food and cook it or heat it up and eat it, etc., etc. But for those who were living in small cabins like we did, there is a place. One sec.
So old kitchen and refractory.
Yeah.
Old kitchen.
Yes, refractory.
And there's also,
Yeah. You have to go there. There's a small kitchenette, and there are two industrial refrigerators, big refrigerators, and there's a ladder. Now, when we went, the refrigerator was open, and we were told that half the shelf is for you. You can bring your things and you can put on the half the shelf. And she opened the ladder and said, here you can put the bread and other things which you can't put in a fridge. So you can put things over there. And we were shown one shelf, which was a common pool. Now, and she said that whatever is here, you can help yourself and you can eat from here, you can drink from here. Now, what happens is when people leave, they don't carry their food with themselves. They leave it there, the leftovers or whatever you want to call, what they did not use, they have to pick it up from their shelf and put it on common shelf. So when we went, we were told that this is a common shelf. You please help yourself. You can eat from here. You can drink from here. This is for everyone. Similarly, when we left, there were a lot of things that we had not touched. We had not eaten. So Firuza picked up from our shelf and put that on common shelf. So those who came later, they could help themselves. So in a sense, it was a very good practice of helping each other. One day after my talk was in the evening, and we come out from that hall where Nuri, what is that place called where we give talks?
It's called the meeting place.
Meeting place.
Yeah.
So we come out from the meeting place, and Karu chalyu nahi. It was dark, not a soul around. So we go to this refractory, and Firuza said, what do we do? There's no one around. What do we do? So we go to that refractory, and maybe she cooked up something, not a soul in place, not a soul around. So that's that. You have to manage your own food. In other words, you only pay for your room or cottage, whatever it is. Now coming to the boat house and the lake. Everybody knows there's a lake out there and there's a boat house. And there was a gondola there. what you see at Venice. There's a story in itself about gondola. We don't have time for gondola, but we were told to meet at 6 in the evening so that we could have a spin in gondola. Now in 1980, I had gone to Venice, but my friend said, no, it's very costly, it's very costly. So I missed out sitting on gondola. So when I saw gondola and when this lady says, meet me at 6, I'll take you around in gondola. I was so happy that, my God, finally, I'm sitting in gondola at Myrtle Beach. But it started raining. It started raining, and you can't take a boat out when it's raining. And I was so dejected. I was so disappointed. And it didn't happen. But the next day, it was a dry day. And Chitra, there was a small boat also. I think it is still there. A rowing boat, a rowboat. So Chitra took us in rowboat and she took us around in the lake and we came back. So, and unfortunately, the gondola is gone now. So no more gondola for Jimmy Khan unless he goes to Venice. So I hope I go to Venice again. So Sam, it is 7.
Yes.
7. I think I'll stop here. Take over, please. Thank you.
The gondola is there, but you know, the little lake you see, there are crocodiles there. You know, so that's why they are. If you look at there, put the gondola on the side to the side. Yeah.
Okay.
And Jane Haynes' son.
Sorry?
Not Charles. Not Jane Haynes' son, the older one, not Charles. But John used to actually give gondola rides whenever he used to be there.
Okay.
For Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. One sec. Sorry. Yeah, take over. Sorry.
Thank you, Jimmy. Baba has gifted you with the knack for narration. The way you narrate is as though you're taking us around all this journey that you made. And this...
Sam, 1 second. May I break here?
Please.
You won't believe this, but when I narrate stories of Guru Prasad and me with Baba, and I'm not a good mime somehow, but I mime where Baba, his actions, his expressions, and people have always told me that, Jimmy, you transport us in the 60s, and we feel that we are sitting in front of Mer Baba, and Baba is doing the gesticulations, just by the way.
Memories, and more memories. That's what they are. But they are beautiful memories to be cherished till the rest of our life. And I'm so glad that people like Jimmy Khan, who are very generous about sharing all these things. I'm sure a lot of people on this panel may have had a lot of various different experiences, but none of them come forward. Kunda Nafde is an exception. She did come and she's smiling. But Ram Nuri does pipe in once in a while. Cherry has done it. I think it is high time Perin Jasumani comes in one Thursday, because this is about love for God, nothing else. We are not paid to talk. There is no exchange of a penny. And yet, when we disperse from this session, we are enriched with millions and millions of good feelings in our hearts. And that, my dear friends, is all because of one and only Mr. M.S. Irani. Nobody else. Nobody else is capable of doing this. What Jimmy talks is the Baba residing in his heart and prompting him to speak. What I am saying is also the same. What Ram Nuri does is also the same. So I could go on and on and on, but time is the restraint here. So we would like to close this session with a reminder to try and wake up very early tomorrow to welcome the Lord who came for us. For us. Can you imagine an idiot like me? Meher Baba came for me. Where was the need? Yes, there was a need. Because this idiot was longing for love, and that love was provided in ample forms, in ample measures by this Lord Meher Baba. So what I would like to say as a parting message is, tomorrow is the day to do Tamal, noise, celebrate. At the same time, let us also express our millions of gratitude to our Lord Meher Baba. Thank you, everybody, and Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher.
Meher Baba ki jai.
Arti, some Arti.
Arey, I'm sorry, Jimmy. Thanks for reminding. Janice,
हाँ जी,
anybody for Aarti today?
आशा जी,
Okay.
I'm asking her if she's okay with anybody from the participants who would want to do the aarti.
Yeah. Perin Jasumani can do it. Go on, Perin. Are you there, Perin?
I am there, but I have some problems with my mouth. I've gone through some dental work, so today I think I'll pass. But
Never
I'll
mind your dental work. Take care of my mental work, darling. And
mental is okay. My dental, you guys will not hear me well.
just recite the Bujavana, please.
All right, with whatever I can, because for the
Yeah. Go on. Don't waste
Sam,
time.
don't force her, Sam, don't force her.
No. I like to listen to her.
all right, okay, thank you. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Puja. 1 second, please. Let me close the door. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Just wanted to close my door. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Pujave nar jalat ni kar khud ratne farmatu chelagi ashvato ne ke she nure imatu ayamur shad meher Baba Ujna साथ थी वाके फतेह पे ठो मेहरबा तुझे मालिक तुझे तरी याए बहत मारफत नो होई तूफान तू अमोर है रब में साले पखचे ज्ञान इज्जत नु के तू पर महात्मा ज्ञानी चने मुतारे फातू खुदाना प्रेम नो प्यालो इलावी मस्त हमने कर तुझ पर जान सके साकिया पीदे पैमातू हमारी नाव भर तरिए तरावे तो हमें तरिए हमारा ना खुदा है मेहर बाबा शनिगे बातू हमारा ना खुदा है मेहर बाबा शनिगे बातू पूजावे नार चल लगतनी कर खुद रखने फरमातू चलागी आश तो ने के बख्शे नूर ईमातू अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय Thank you, Baba.
Dear parents,
Thank you.
this is just my feeling that today your effort in singing this aarti must have pleased him a lot, must have pleased Baba a lot. This is just my feeling that I get.
No, the reason why I said no is I've extracted some.
I've been through all that, Baba. Don't
No,
worry.
but I'm not. Okay.
Okay.
Baba help me to do
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Some she's meaning wisdom tooth. Her wisdom tooth is gone.
No more wisdom. Jai Baba.
Amen, Baba.
No more nothing.
Happy
Mine.
birthday, Baba. Happy birthday to you, sir.
Happy birthday. Do we sing today or we wait till tomorrow?
We can. Yeah, that's a good idea. Come on. All of us put your mics off. I mean on.
Yes.
And get on. It doesn't matter if it is not in tune or whatever. Baba, ban kar de se. Doesn't matter.
Yes. Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Baba.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday,
Happy birthday, dear Baba.
Meher Baba ki jai.
Avatar
मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Baba for everything. Thank you, Baba, for everything. Jai Meher Baba. Janice, can you come please?
Yes. Just a little reminder. Tomorrow we are going live on Zoom as well as YouTube link. And in the evening, we'll be going live on YouTube, not on Zoom. So please, everybody join in and celebrate Baba's birthday.
By now, Janice must have got this entire program by heart. She must be saying it in her sleep also.
Thank you, Janice, for everything.
Thank you, Baba, for everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. You're
See you
great.
all. Yes. See you all again next week. Thank you, Auntie.
Take care,
Thank you
parent.
very much.
Jai Baba.
Stay safe and take care, everybody. Shall I end the meeting?
Yes, please.
Baba ne give back to all. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Ki Jai.
I like this Garba Sarbar. Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay, see you all. Bye-bye. Happy Baba birthday.
Happy birthday. Now you haven't said your closing line. Take care and be safe and all that. What do you say normally?
Everybody stay safe. Take care. Stay healthy. Baba ne give back.
Now you can put the curtain on.
Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Jai. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Baba.